Hey guys, Dorcas here, bringing you a tutorial for the rack event for newbie junk journal makers. This event, we are going to be making some clusters, and so I've got a few examples here. Let me go ahead and hold these up a little closer so you can see them. These are clusters made entirely out of paper scraps. These that I made are sewn. I'm going to show you another method of doing these without having to sew. We want these to stay nice and flat, and so you don't have to add anything else to them. You're going to send your partner 4 of these. And so here's another one. And here's another one. This one is all inked up. So use those things that will keep your shipping flat. That might not be the thing. Shame on me. But I just thought it looked so pretty. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to make these. This here says, "Love grows here," which I thought was really cute. I am going to show you a couple of other things, like once you get the hang of making these, you could take any of your scraps, which this is my scrap box, and we'll go into that here in a minute, and you can make rolls of clusters. I had to cut down some calendar pages so that I could fit them into a book, so these were leftover scraps, and I just started sewing stuff on top of them. So if you have a sewing machine, this is something you can try out. Paper doesn't hurt your sewing machine at all. These are some belly bands that I made, also same method of, sewing clusters down. So I just wanted to show you that. This was like a weekend of me working through my scraps. I had almost 10 yards of the clusters, and I just rolled them all up, and I've been using them. I have another piece of this because I ended up breaking up the roll because it was too big. And for some reason, as you make these, your way of making them evolves. And I wanted something from the middle of the roll. So I just, you can make these and keep them at home for whenever you need them. So these are my scraps, and all of those came out of these scraps. I'm going to be working through these. So I just want to pull out from here. Let's see. What do we want? If you are going to be building these on your sewing machine, this is too small for building them on the sewing machine. So you need at least an inch to an inch and a half wide. It just gives you better stability. I'm just going to pull up some stuff here. I think I used all of my little... here we go. These guys are good to build on. Perfect. So I'm going to work with these. And I'm going to put these scraps out of the way over here off to the side so that we can get to working. And I'll be pulling from it different pieces of paper and different things to use. Hey guys, guess what we're making today? We are making clusters. So we are doing a rack event, and in this rack event we are going to be sending our partners 4 clusters, and I worked on these today. These were done with glue. This is a backing to it, and I built on top of that. This one is also another cluster. This one is sewn, so this was done in my sewing machine, and then I glued the sentiment and the butterfly on top. This one is also one that was glued on a round disc. and I used a sticker to decorate it. We want to keep these nice and flat so that they are more inexpensive to send out, so please keep that in mind. You can ink these before you get them put together, or you can ink them after you get them put together. These are inked, and these guys are not inked. And then we have this one too. And so I put a little sentiment on all of them because I feel it makes them look more completely done, but you don't have to. So let's go ahead. If you don't have sentiment, or you don't have paper that you can cut out to do that with, just cut out something that you found. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to work on one of these or two so I can show you how to make them, and then we'll go through and we will package them. So I have one disc and we have that, and so we're going to work on that, and we also have this here, so we could work on any of these 3 items to build the cluster on top of. And so I'm going to be using my Fabri-Tac today, but you could use whatever kind of glue you have on hand. I'm going to be using all this mess here on my desk is here because I have these are my scraps. I pulled out some of my scraps from my recent projects, and we're going to just be using these. So I like to usually start with a little bit of a longer piece. If you made the tear ruler, by all means use it. This is one of those instances where that tear ruler was made for this. Okay, and ooh, pretty. I like that. We're going to use that. Let's use a piece of this, and we'll tear it a little to make it. And I'm just going to add a little dab of glue, and I'm going to go right across this square. I think I also would like this in the middle. Well, let's not put that down yet. Let's put down let's use some of this. Maybe we'll use 2 of these. Okay. So we're going to put this one down. And remember, you're not looking to fully glue these things down. You just want to sort of glue them down in the center because you are creating that cluster effect. I have this scrap of craft paper. A lot of these are strips that you cut when you are cleaning up your paper pad because it's got the the label on them and stuff like that. So that's what a lot of this is. Like this craft paper one is that as well. I have some, like this checkered one is also that. Should we use a little piece of this? This is a piece of decoupage napkin that I used on a journal. But I think that right up to there, that would be cool. Let's put that down. And we're just going to keep building on top of this until you feel that it's achieved some sort of balance composition situation. And only you can determine what that is for your project. The rest of us can only speculate. So go with your gut. This is art at the end of the day, and you need to let your artistic expression show. And I think this guy right here. Okay, so for me, this cluster is done. I think this is perfect for what I want. I am always partial to these guys For some reason, I love these vellum papers, so I am actually going to stick a vellum right over the top of that script. I feel it needs it. Okay, I'm going to stick that right on top of there. There we go. And then now I have to pick something to put on top of that. What could I put on top of that? Nothing from there. No. Guys, I had something picked out to put on top of here, and now my mind has gone blank. Do we want to put a typewriter on there? Let's put a typewriter. What sentiment would go with a typewriter? And we want silver. Silver or gold? I think remember this. I think we want remember this right here. And we want to go ahead and stick this typewriter down. Dude, these things will give you the hardest time to open. Use a pin and you'll see how easy it becomes. Well, I lied. I'm so blind. Wow. Yay, I got it. There we go. Remember this. And we'll put this typewriter right under that. Bam. All right. And this cluster is ready to go. And I think this cluster looks extra spidery because if you can see, all the different parts are kind of the same. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to cut this down just a little because I don't like the way it feels. There we go. I like that better. I don't know why, but I like that better. All right, guys. So now that you have your clusters done, you're going to grab a strip of anything. We're going to go ahead and we're going to put tape on it. And so I'm going to just tear this one here. We're going to put tape on it, and I'm going to show you on this one. This is double-sided tape that I get at the Dollar Tree. It is not good double-sided tape, but we don't want good double-sided tape because in order to keep these things from shifting around when we stick them in our envelope, we want this sticky piece of cardboard. However, we don't want them to stick to this so well that they will never come off it. So, for that reason, we're going to go ahead and we're going to stick this guy here and do our best to make sure it stays. And we are going to put this one here. Make sure that one stays. And I'm going to take these guys and flip them over. And now I'm going to do another strip of tape in the back of this. Because this is not very good tape, it is okay to do that with. If you don't have this tape available in your area and you have some Scotch tape, go ahead and do a little, one of those little domed bubbles of Scotch tape. Remember where you used to take Scotch tape and go like this and, turn it over? Do 4 of those little things in the spots you want these clusters to hold on to so that you can pack them and they can make it to your partner's home successfully. So we're going to go ahead and glue this guy here. And we are going to glue this guy right here. Okay, so as you can see, these guys are taped down onto that. We're going to put this into our envelope. This is a number 8 envelope. You can put them in a number 10 envelope as well. Just make sure that your piece of cardboard is long enough to make it from side to side on that number 10 envelope. I'm going to put these here. The goal is so that nothing shifts while this is going from your place to your partner's place. And then I'm going to use this to pretend that it's the card that has the swap Happy Mail stuff on it, because I had one printed and I lost it, and so I had to do without. This is my scale again. We're going to go ahead and we're going to put a cap on my glue first, because that's spendy glue to be wasting it. And we're going to tear the scale, and we're going to weigh this so that you guys have a good idea. I don't know if you can see that from where the camera is, but we're going to go ahead and lay this here. And it comes to 0.05 ounces, which is half an ounce. You can go right up to 1 ounce with 1.55-cent stamp. So this is perfect. Once again, you do not need to send your partner any extras. You're sending them the 4 clusters that you made. Make sure that when you're decorating, use stickles if you have, you know, this kind of stuff to decorate. Use stamps, use anything like that. Stickers, things you cut out of magazines, pictures you cut out from magazines, anything like that works. But what we want is a nice flat envelope so that it is treated as a letter and not as a parcel. So keeping that in mind, I hope you guys enjoy this rack event. And don't forget to do the poll in the event, as well as don't forget to post your pictures of what you make. We love to see your work. All right, guys, you have a fantastic day. Bye.